Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Macari, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. So, stimulus checks are supposed to be hitting this week for those making $75,000 or less. As an individual, you'll get $1,200. Children, $500, although I believe it's children 16 and under. If you make more than that, up to $99,000, it's a bit of a smaller payment. More than $99,000 a year, you will not get anything. If you filed your taxes and had your refunds deposited, direct deposit to your account, the money will be deposited to your account. Now, my dad actually got his today, although it won't clear until the 15th. Mine has not shown up yet, but we shall see. So I hope if you are due for a stimulus payment that it has arrived or is on its way. It's been stressful. I know everyone waiting to see if they're going to get money, how much it's going to be. And of course, $1,200 one-time payment isn't going to do much for a lot of people other than maybe, knock out a few bills, get some groceries, a one-time thing. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, definitely check your accounts and see if your check is in or if it is pending. Like my dad's is in, but it's pending the deposit. So it's just pending. It won't clear until the 15th. So anyway, there's that. Turning to the reselling sites themselves for today's news, the very first story is that Walmart executive has been picked as eBay's new CEO. So according to an article on CNBC, and this has been posted elsewhere, this is just the one I'm referencing, Walmart's chief operating officer for U.S. e-commerce, Jamie Ione, will become eBay's new CEO. I hope I'm saying his name right, Ione. I'm just going to go with Ione. Could be totally wrong, was credited with growing the membership and online sales of Sam's Club. He had just been promoted by Walmart in late February to overseeing the retailer's digital strategy and online business. Thomas Tierney, chairman of eBay's board, said in a news release that eBay's board was impressed by his strong track record of innovation, execution, operational excellence, and developing teams that drive results. With this new role, Ione is returning to eBay. He spent nearly 8 years at the company as a vice president. Ione worked at Walmart-owned Sam's Club for about 6 years. He was previously CEO of SamsClub.com and executive vice president of membership and technology. Before joining Sam's Club, he was executive vice president of digital products at Barnes & Noble, where he helped oversee its Nook devices and digital books business. Ione will succeed Devin Wenig. Oh, people, I can't pronounce your names, who left eBay in September. Wenig resigned from his role as eBay faced pressure from two activist investors, Elliott Management and Starboard Value. The hedge funds pushed the company to review its portfolio and consider selling off assets, including its ticket sales service, StubHub, and its classified ad business to drive up the value of shares. When he departed, he explained in a tweet that he was not on the same page as the new board. About 2 months after his departure, eBay announced it was selling StubHub. And during the company's search for a new leader, eBay financial officer Scott Schenkel served as the interim CEO. So there, eBay has a new CEO. I'm glad to hear it's somebody with vast e-commerce experience from Walmart and Sam's Club, Barnes & Noble. So time will tell what he brings to the table at eBay, but especially the past couple of years with eBay, or as Glitch Bay, as I like to call it, we definitely, I feel, need some new leadership over there. So I'm excited to see what the new CEO brings to the table. There's quite a bit of news today for those of you who sell on Amazon, whether it is via FBA or merchant fulfilled. According to an article on foxbusiness.com, Amazon sellers to resume shipping non-essential items after coronavirus ban. Amazon had stopped accepting shipments of items from sellers that didn't correspond to the shopping needs of consumers hunkering down during the pandemic. However, it will begin allowing third-party sellers on its platform to resume shipping so-called non-essential items this week, a signal that the company is ramping up to meet broader consumer needs, according to people familiar with the matter. We know that last month, Amazon stopped allowing FBA sellers to send in things like media, clothing. If it wasn't an essential item, they weren't able to send it. A lot of sellers then switched to merchant fulfill, but for sellers who relied solely on FBA, it was a big blow unless they were selling health, wellness, and cleaning supplies. Also, Amazon is looking to hire 75,000 additional employees. So Amazon's certainly ramping up. Now, I know Amazon shipping is way behind. Hopefully that, 75,000 new employees to help with that. Again, they hired 100,000 people at the start of the coronavirus outbreak. So yeah, we shall see as they get more people in. Of course, that involves training and space, but it certainly seems that if there's one company that's going to come out of all of this relatively unscathed and even more powerful than before, which I have my opinions about that, it's going to be Amazon. But if you are an FBA seller, good news for you. Looks like you're going to start being able to get your regular shipments back into the warehouses, and people are shopping in all categories now. So hopefully that will mean some increased sales for you. Amazon has also updated sellers on price gouging. On a post on the seller forum, Amazon posted, as you know, Amazon's marketplace fair pricing policy protects our customers from unfair, excessive, and misleading prices. Our price gouging prevention systems attempt to account for variation in local laws while also providing customers a consistent experience across our stores. We also take increases in the cost of goods, freight, and labor into consideration, and that's particularly true in light of COVID-19. We have and will continue to adjust our price gouging thresholds to reflect these dynamics. If you believe you are offering a fair price for a product that has been suppressed by our price gouging prevention systems, please go to your manage inventory and reactivate your listing. Then gives you the details on how to do that, and then you can appeal the decision. So this was a concern when the coronavirus outbreak started. Those who regularly sell medical equipment were suddenly having their prices go way up because the suppliers were charging more. Obviously, that's a cost they would have to pass on to the customer, but it was targeted as price gouging by Amazon. So now there does seem to be some policies in place to help those sellers. Again, those would be really for those people who sold medical supplies before all this started and now need to adjust their prices in this current environment. And one last thing about Amazon today. Amazon has a COVID-19 blog. And the most recent post said, Amazon's COVID-19 blog, daily updates on how we're responding to the crisis, how we're supporting our employees, customers, and communities. This goes on to detail everything they're doing for employees, providing them with protective gear and testing, and their hiring and pay. Also what they're doing for customers, including increased capacity from grocery delivery from Amazon Fresh and Whole Foods Market, if that's available in your area, cleaning of Whole Foods. It also says customers ordering delivery from Prime Now, Amazon Fresh and Whole Foods Market can select unattended delivery to just have basically porch drop off. They're prioritizing the fastest delivery of household staples, medical supplies, and on-demand products, and price gouging, more time for customers to return items, and Amazon and Alexa devices keeping customers connected and informed. Talks about what they're doing worldwide with the coronavirus outbreak, and then the blog just goes on to basically just tell you everything's going on over to Amazon. Again, this is from Amazon's point of view, so if you're interested in hearing Amazon toot its own horn, then this is the blog for you. But yeah, just interesting to see sites now devoting an entire section of their websites to the coronavirus outbreak. If you sell on Macari, here's some news for you. According to a post on the e-commerce Bytes blog, Macari has rolled out new rates for prepaid shipping labels. Macari adjusted its prices for prepaid shipping labels on April 13th. Macari prepaid labels offer negotiated fixed rates with USPS, FedEx, and UPS for packages weighing up to 150 pounds. Macari spokesperson Brad Williams, thank you for having a name I can pronounce, Brad Williams, just had to put that in, said its most popular 1 pound shipping label is not increasing this year. It's still $4.99, the lowest in the industry. That is low. That's lower than eBay for what I pay for a pound. Other rates are going up, but in some cases, the rates are being lowered. Many sellers who use Macari's prepaid shipping labels will be impacted by the increased cost of lightweight packages. Its new USPS rate for packages weighing up to 4 ounces is going from $2.99 to $3.49. The rate for packages weighing up to half an ounce is going from $4.25 to $4.60. Every year, shipping carriers increase their rates. Macari then determines how these increases will impact our rates for shipping labels for our users, Williams said. And then there are some charts here in this post. Again, every article and website that I referenced will be listed in the show notes section below the video, so you can go over and look at this. This post ends by saying, making shipping easy and affordable is a core part of Macari's mission to make selling easier than buying. In the past year, we've made good progress with improvements like our popular 4-ounce USPS label for shipping small items. Macari also provides $200 shipping insurance for all labels provided. And as always, Macari sellers will have the option to ship on their own if they wish. On yesterday's show, I talked about the United States Postal Service asking the government for help. Their sales are way down as mail is down. Now, packages are still going out, but nowhere near what it is on a normal basis, because while there are companies and those of us who are resellers still shipping out every day, a lot of the large e-commerce retailers are actually not shipping right now because in their state, they have been deemed non-essential businesses, so their warehouses can't even open. So there are a lot of companies that do normally ship through the post office that aren't. But according to an article on abcnews.com, Postal Service says it's going broke due to pandemic. Trump flatly opposes emergency aid. The agency will be out of cash by the fall without tens of billions in help. The article says the already ailing United States Postal Service is being financially crippled by the coronavirus pandemic, but the Trump administration has shown no signs it will ask for emergency financial aid as it has for big business. In a digital briefing before the House Oversight Committee last week, Postmaster General Megan Berman told lawmakers that the agency would run out of cash by the end of the fiscal year in September without help from Congress and the administration, in part due to the extreme losses being suffered as a result of COVID-19. Brennan said the crisis has caused an unprecedented drop in mail. The Postal Service, an independent agency of the executive branch, anticipates a $13 billion revenue loss directly to COVID-19 this fiscal year and a $54.3 billion additional losses over 10 years. The Postal Service relies on the sale of postal products and services to fund our operations, and these sales are plummeting as a result of the pandemic, Brennan said. The sudden drop in mail volumes, our most profitable revenue stream, is steep and may never fully recover. Yet, even as the amount of mail being shipped drops, postal workers remain on the front lines of the pandemic. Many postal handlers continue to deliver mail designated as essential service providers during state stay-at-home orders. A USPS spokesman told ABC News Monday that 693 of the agency's 630,000 postal workers have tested positive for COVID-19, as several have died. And the number infected is increasingly steady, up from 259 workers confirmed on April 2nd. The agency is providing millions of gloves and masks to its workers and had implemented social distancing practices inside of post offices. Despite the financial crisis on Friday, when President Donald Trump was asked about whether the administration had nixed funding for the agency being negotiated as part of the coronavirus relief packages, he returned to a familiar refrain. He pointed the finger of blame at Amazon. I'll tell you who's the demise of the Postal Service are these internet companies that give their stuff to the Postal Service, Trump said. They lose money every time they deliver a package for Amazon or these other internet companies, these other companies that deliver. Trump has a long-standing feud with Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon and owner of the Washington Post, and has blamed Bezos for the demise of the Postal Service for several years. I am right about the Amazon costing the United States Postal Service massive amounts of money for being their delivery boy, Trump tweeted in 2018. Amazon should pay these costs and not have them borne by the American taxpayer. On Friday, Trump advocated, as he long has, for the Postal Service to raise its prices. It charges online services like Amazon to deliver goods, often to hard-to-reach rural areas. And this article does go on. Now, I'm not making a political statement. I don't want a political debate here on the show, but this has been a big thing between Trump and Bezos. But it does bring out the larger question for companies that negotiate lower rates with the post office, the big one being Poshmark. You can ship on Poshmark up to 5 pounds. Now, I believe they did raise it to $7.22, up to 5 pounds on Poshmark. Now, if I'm shipping 5 pounds on eBay and it's going to California or New York, here from Iowa, it's way more than that. So clearly, Poshmark's getting some sort of deal from the post office. And of course, as eBay sellers, we do get a bit of a discount on postage, and I'm sure Amazon has an amazing deal with the post office. So what do you think about the post office giving breaks to e-commerce sites? I mean, as resellers, we of course want e-commerce to do well, but we also need the post office. If it would take saving the post office for us to pay more in postage, is that what it's going to take? I mean, whatever you want to say about shipping, the post office is still way cheaper than UPS or FedEx, especially on smaller items. So I know I rely fully on the post office for my shipping. So, it's tough. They need help for sure. They are definitely an essential service for all Americans and really everyone on the planet. The USPS really is the only option that most small sellers have to ship internationally. If we weren't able to ship directly through the post office via first class or priority, and especially those of us on eBay who utilize eBay's global shipping program, which utilizes the post office, we would lose a significant amount of international customers. So, we need the post office, that's for sure. And we'll end today's show with a little bit about Poshmark. I've had people tell me you need to go over to Reddit to see about the Poshmark news, and there's a whole big old forum about Poshmark over on Reddit. I found an interesting thread entitled, "Posh is starting to feel like a waste of time while my other selling platforms are blowing it out of the water." Now, this is the sentiment that I've seen a lot over on Instagram and here on YouTube. People who are big Poshmark sellers, or Poshmark was just their main platform, are starting now to look to other sites because Poshmark sales have been down. And you can argue for various reasons what's going on with Poshmark. Of course, clothes aren't exactly the most in-demand item right now. People are still buying clothes, of course, but other things are taking priority. This post said, "People just don't want to spend almost $8 for shipping, especially not while so many people are with less or no income. My sales on platforms I can do first class or free shipping have been just insane. I feel like Posh is becoming my pointless sale every once in a while platform, while Macari and eBay are the breadwinners now. I also think people have been searching harder for a deal now that they have less money and are realizing half the stuff on Posh is on these other sites for less. I wouldn't be shocked if they never took their business back to Posh once this all blows over." And of course, there's a whole thread on here about the pros and cons of Poshmark. Some people are like, "Oh my gosh, my Poshmark sales are amazing." Others are in agreement. So if you sell on Poshmark, how are your sales compared to where they were before the coronavirus? The same, better, worse, and have you expanded to other sites? Now, I'm not currently selling on Poshmark. I did a couple times over the past couple of years, actually. I dabbled in it a little, but there's nothing really that I'm selling right now that I could put there. I mean, I suppose I could put some health and beauty, but probably not much because a lot of it doesn't qualify for priority shipping. So there's really nothing for me on Poshmark. I never made much there anyway. But if you're a Poshmark seller, definitely let me know how sales are going for you during the whole coronavirus outbreak. And that is a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me your questions and comments. Also, check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I referenced. Thanks so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.